Hey everyone, welcome to the top 10 list, and I thought I'd do a top 10 of my personal favorite Richard Linklater movies. Yes, Richard Linklater has been doing movies since the early 90s, and I'm a big fan of all of his work, and I thought I'd count down my top 10 personal favorite Richard Linklater movies. Let's get to it. Here's my top 10 personal favorite Richard Linklater movies. And before top 10 list, you gotta have your honorable mentions, and I have two honorable mentions for Richard Linklater movies. And two honorable mentions are Suburbia and The Newton Boys. Great movies, just couldn't make the top 10 list. But what did make my top 10 was my number 10. And my number 10 is Bernie. Yes, this movie has Jack Black and Matthew McConaughey in this movie. And this is a very different role for Jack Black. Because Jack Black in this movie kind of plays like a flamboyant male guy who's a mortician and also an actor. And basically, I don't want to spoil this movie because I don't know if anyone has seen this movie. But basically, he commits a crime, but no one thinks he committed it because he's such a nice guy, and he didn't mean to commit the crime, but in the end, he kind of suffers for it. That's all I'm going to tell. All I'm going to spoil for the story, because I don't know if a lot of people have seen it, because it's kind of an underrated movie. It's a good movie. It's pretty quirky. It's a little inconsistent with its tone, but the performances are great. Jack Black is amazing in this movie. Matthew McConaughey is very good, and all the performances by the supporting cast is really good. It's well-paced, just a little inconsistent with its tone, but I really like this movie. It's a pretty underrated movie, and I think people should check it out. Coming number 9 is Slacker. This is the very first movie by Richard Linklater, his directorial debut. And basically, it's a bunch of short stories and everything. And if you love Richard Linklater comedy and Richard Linklater drama, this is the kind of movie you will love. And I did love it. That's all I'm going to say. Check Slacker out. It's awesome. Coming number 8 is Me and Orson Welles. Yes, this is one of the few Zac Efron movies that I really like. That's probably because Richard Linklater directed this movie, wrote and directed this movie. But yeah, this and Neighbors are probably the only good movies Zac Efron has played in. Liberal Arts, actually. Liberal Arts is a good movie too, but he doesn't pick a lot of roles that are good, and he is actually very good in this movie. Zac Efron plays a good role. I forget the actor who plays Orson Welles, but he's very good. He actually acted like Orson Welles, and he looked like Orson Welles. Like, it's very uncanny, and it's awesome. And I love the story about a kid who meets his idol, who's Orson Welles. He gets to do a play with them, and it's just so well done. I love the story about a boy chasing his dream and meeting his idol, and sometimes his idol's not always what you think it is and everything. I love little stories about Orson Welles, little fun facts about Orson Welles, and I love stories about theater and arts and appreciation for the art form. And this movie talks in depth about all those things, and it's just so well done. It's well written, well directed, and the performances are very good. It's got some good comedy, some good drama, and it's just a lot about passion and art and cinema and theater, and it's just so well done. Me and Orson Welles, fantastic movie. Coming number 7 is the movie Tape. Yes, Tape is a very overlooked movie. As you saw in my top 10 most overlooked movies, I had this movie Tape in it, and it's awesome. It's got Robert Sean Leonard, Ethan Hawke, and Uma Thurman, and it's just 3 people in a hotel room. That's the whole movie. It's almost like a play, and it's so well done. The writing is so brilliant. In these performances, Robert Sean Leonard, Ethan Hawke, Uma Thurman are all brilliant in this movie. This movie is all about a tape, and this tape has something on it. I don't know if I should spoil it. It's like the movie Bernie. I don't want to spoil it, but basically one of these characters was accused of raping another character, and one other character was dating this other character, and this character has a drug addiction, and he wants to out this guy out, then he wants to out him out, and she's playing with both of them, and a lot of shit happens, and I don't want to spoil how this movie ends, but it's a perfect ending to the film. It's so well done, and there's a twist in this movie. It's a very, very clever twist, and it's just so great. The dialogue is great. The writing is riveting. It's very well directed, beautifully paced. Felt like I was watching these 3 people. It felt like I was right there in the room watching these people have this conversation. Like I said, it was like watching a play, and it was just so well done. The performances by all 3 of them are fantastic, and this movie itself is fantastic. Coming number 6 is A Scanner Darkly. Yes, this is a weird, animated, real-life kind of movie. Yes, like Waking Life, Scanner Darkly is a very bizarre movie. It's so visually appealing. It's so dark, it's so gritty, so bleak, but so creative. The ideas they tackle in this movie are just brilliant, and the performances, again, in this movie are just so good, especially by Keanu Reeves. Keanu Reeves is not even that great of an actor, but he's great in this movie. The pacing is good, the direction's good. The message it's trying to tell you in this movie is a little harsh and a little dark, but it's very true. It's very realistic. It's really bizarre. People call this movie like an acid trip. It kind of is, but it's so well done. It's so creative, so visionary, and it's beautifully executed. Richard Linklater did a fantastic job with this movie, and A Scanner Darkly is fantastic. It's not pleasant, but it's a great movie. Coming number 5 is School of Rock. Yes, baby, we were making straight A's. and we were stuck in a dumb daze. Don't take much to memorize the lines. I feel like I've been hypnotized. And if you wanna be the teacher's pet... Okay, I'll stop singing. I love this movie. I've probably seen this movie the most out of most of Richard Linklater's films. It's so good. It's so funny. It's hilarious. Jack Black is awesome. All the kids in this movie are awesome. I love the story about a guy who's trying to make it as a rock star, but he can't. So basically, he pretends to be his roommate and gets a job as a substitute teacher. And he finds out all these kids are very good musicians. And he starts a band with these kids. It's hilarious. It's so funny. I love the comedy. And it's not like crude and vulgar comedy. It's very clever and well-written comedy. It's a great family movie. It's a great kids movie. It's also a great movie for adults. It's so funny. It's a great movie for music lovers. It's a great movie in general. It's a fantastic movie. Comedy's great. Some of the dramatic scenes work very well. And Jack Black is awesome in this movie. And I just love it. I love it. It's a kick-ass movie. Rock on! Coming number 4 is Dazed and Confused. Yes. Alright, alright, alright. That's what I love about these high school girls. I keep getting older, they're still the same age. Alright, alright, alright. Yes, as you saw in my teen movies, my top 10 favorite teen movies, Dazed and Confused is amazing. It's so good. The comedy, hilarious, hilarious. It shows a pretty accurate representation of the 70s and high school in the 70s, and it's very funny. There's a lot of drugs, a lot of swearing, a lot of profanity in this movie, but it's really good. It's so funny. If you love good teen movies, good comedic teen movies, you will love this movie, and I adore this movie. It's so good. Jeremy London's great, Ben Affleck's great, Matthew McConaughey's great, Parker Posey, she's great. Everybody in this movie is great. Joey Lauren-Adams. Everyone's great. This movie's great. Dazed and Confused. This movie's awesome. Everyone loves Dazed and Confused. Coming number 3 is Waking Life. Oh, I remember watching this movie in my philosophy class in high school. It blew me away, this movie. This movie's so good. It's like A Scanner Darkly. It's kind of got like real life and animation. Mostly animation. And it talks a lot about dreams and reality and state of being and the human mind and everything. The psyche of people. It's just so well done, this movie, and it's much better than A Scanner Darkly. If you're not into Scanner Darkly, I still recommend you that you should check this movie out because it's so good. It's so good. It's poetic, it's deep, it's dark, it's unpleasant, but it's just so riveting to watch. It's so good. Ethan Hawke and Julie Delpy from the Before Trilogy are all in this movie, and a bunch of other actors. And the way all these stories add up together and how they all mean something, it's so well done. And the ending is very good. Again, I won't spoil the ending, but it's so well done. I love how they talk about dream theories and the human psyche. It's so well done. Writing at its best. Richard Linklater did a fantastic job writing this movie. I don't know why he didn't get an Oscar nomination for writing. This movie was fantastic. This movie is a little bit of a mindfuck, but it's so well done. It's a great mindfuck. If you love philosophical movies and love movies about the human psyche and dreams and stuff, not like Inception, just an actual movie about dreams and shit, about reality and everything, you'll love this movie. The Waking Life is hands down one of Richard Linklater's masterpieces. It's so fucking good. I love this movie. Coming number 2 is Boyhood. Yes, Boyhood, I still think this is probably Richard Linklater's best movie, but it's just not my favorite. This movie is an American landmark. This is a masterpiece. I fucking love this movie. This was my favorite movie of last year. 2014, best movie, Boyhood. I was rooting for this movie actually to win at the Oscars, best picture, director, and all that shit. I'm glad Patricia Arquette got supporting actress. I'm shocked that Ethan Hawke didn't get supporting actor, but J.K. Simmons and shit. I love Birdman, but I think Boyhood should have won it. I just loved Boyhood. This was my favorite movie of last year. I love the movie about a boy's life within 12 years. Is it 12 or 10 years? Yeah, 12 years of a boy's life. And it actually took them 12 years to film this movie. You actually get to see these actors grow up. You actually get to see them go through their childhood, their teen years, their adulthood. And I've never seen a movie like this. Never been a history in cinema, a movie ever done like this. And it's so amazingly well done. I can relate to everything about this movie. This movie is so relatable. I relate to all these characters, especially the lead character, played by Eller Coltrane. He did a fantastic job, by the way. Patricia Arquette and Ethan Hawke stole the movie, but he is great. Lorelai Linklater is great, too, and all the other performances are great. Ethan Hawke and Patricia Arquette stole the movie. But I really relate a lot to the little boy, the young kid. I just relate so much to him. What's his name, Mason or something? Yeah, I relate a lot to him, because a lot of things he went through, I went through personally. Like, all the stuff he went through, I went through them. And I'm pretty close to him in age and everything. I love that he watched a lot of Dragon Ball Z, and he loves movie references and shit, and I just related so much to this movie, and it just really hit me. Like, it really, really hit me. Like, I've never had a movie that related so much to my life, and this movie did it. And the movie is just so amazingly directed. Phenomenally directed. The writing is amazing, the acting is amazing. This is a true American landmark of cinema, and this is a masterpiece. This movie is fucking amazing. This is an incredible film. If you have not seen this movie, you have to check it out. It's the best movie of 2014, and it's a fucking amazing movie. It's probably the best Richard Linklater movie, but it's not my favorite Richard Linklater movie. And my number one favorite Richard Linklater movie is the Before trilogy. Yes, I have talked on and on about these movies. I have mentioned these in my movie trilogies, my best movie endings. I've gone on and on about these movies, so I will be very quick. This is the definition of a perfect romantic movie. All of these movies are, I consider them all one big movie. Before Sunrise, Before Sunset, Before Midnight, they're all amazing. Ethan Hawke, Julie Delpy are both fantastic. It's a perfect romance, it's got perfect writing, perfect characters, perfect setups, and it's just so fucking good. I love Before Sunset, probably a little bit more than all three of them. It's like my favorite. Perfect ending, one of the best movie endings ever. But the chemistry between these two leads are fantastic. The conversations they have in each one of these films is fantastic. The stories are amazing. This movie are just amazing. They're like one of my favorite movie trilogies. They're very underrated. If you have not seen it, check it out. If you love romantic movies, check it out. It's amazing. One of the greatest romantic movies, one of the greatest trilogies, and of course my favorite Richard Linklater movie. So yeah, that's my top 10 personal favorite Richard Linklater movies. So yeah, in the comment section below, please tell me, did you agree with me? And what are your top 10 favorite Richard Linklater movies? Comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like this video, please like and subscribe to this channel, and join the dark side.